In 2022, I've released my first long-term comic, Pokémon Mystery Dungeon Ethereal Dreams. And I'm having a blast of a time bringing my script to life. But did you know that this very comic is draft 8 of the story? These Pokémon have come a long way. Based on creation date, Tao is freaking 15 years old. He's literally half my age. What the heck? Draft 1 started in March 2010 when I checked out the Pokémon games for the first time with Soul Silver. I got attached to the Pokémons in my team and turned them into original characters. Except for the human. Heck, he was named after my dragon OC Gono, and his rival was named after Mish. The Pokémon story was a humanless Soul Silver. I played as my starter Kolava named Tauflame, who was building up a team and went on adventures. Nothing complex. During this time I did play a lot of Spore. Other than hanging out in the Spiral and Dragon OC sub-fandom, I created my Pokémon OCs too. And since this was the one game where I created my stories, there was one attempt of me creating a story about my Pokémon characters. In fact, today we're gonna talk about Draft 2 of Ethereal Dreams. Confession. This Pokémon Spore adventure never got far. I was so occupied with the Dragon adventures that I neglected my Pokémon characters early on. Remember Gono and Mish? They were part of a story called The Dragon from the Sky, which got like 135 parts, and Pokémon only got 2 in comparison. Because of my lack of motivation, I never shared the Pokémon adventures online. Nobody has seen Draft 2 of Ethereal Dreams. And now that I have an active Mystery Dungeon comic running online with the same characters, this suddenly became more relevant. So today we will travel back to 2010 and expose Draft 2 of Ethereal Dreams. If only I could play it! Whenever an adventure has this red symbol, it means it's banned and unplayable. You can still open and play it in editor mode, but I don't like that. Not only will you get spoiled by the roster of creations that will appear in the adventure, you can easily cheat by skipping the tasks. And the very reason why the adventure is banned in the first place is because one or more creations are unable to load. So you're dealing with placeholder models and that'll make the adventure look scuffed. Luckily the damage of this Pokémon adventure is minor. The banned creation is an egg model. Considering I removed a lot of eggs from my game, I am not surprised. They were taking over my creature stage. So I simply picked an identical model that was saved in my backups. And made a copy of this adventure that is playable. That way I can still play it in the legit way. The thumbnail didn't pass on, so I made one that looked similar enough to the original. While part 2 got a brand new one, so I can tell them apart. So let's play part 1. By the way, the P stands for project because I didn't know what whip meant back then. This story never got a real title. We're gonna be playing as Chip, who is a small Pidgey. Yay! I really like Pidgey. Zakros and the Pitgeit are waiting for the eggs hatchlings. Okay, my grammar nowadays is bad. But back then in 2009, it was abysmal. But even though I was still learning English, but why would I make a typo of a Pokémon name such as Pitgeit? Like, I knew they were called Pidgeots. This is just me not checking my grammar, not testing out the adventure enough and fix the typos. This wasn't shared online, but still. Here we have a circle of Pidgeots, and they are staring at 3 eggs. These eggs are similar to the ones in the games, which they have like this default design, and you can't tell what is gonna hatch from them, which I think I did it intentionally. I wanted the hatchlings to be a surprise. Though nowadays I prefer designing the eggs after the Pokémon. What else is here? The Pidgeots are hardly bigger than a Pidgey here. Like, this is a little chick who can't even fly. And she's almost as big as a full-grown, fully evolved Pidgeot. So the scaling makes no sense. Anyway, let's continue. "2 years we have waited here." Don't worry, the H is silent. 2 years we have waited here. What are they chanting? "And this month the eggs will hatch. And this month the eggs will hatch." Same, Chip. Same. Like, were they just standing here for 2 long years without food and water? And why would an egg take that long to hatch anyway? You know, they should have just picked up the egg, run around a bit, and they will hatch within minutes, just like in the game. From what I remember, these are like... This is like a prophecy trio, and they were special eggs. It's why it's highly guarded by 5 of these Pidgeots. And apparently it's on Take Your Daughter to Work Day, because Zakros, the leader, took Chip to his job. Even though he's supposed to be standing here for 2 long years without leaving. I don't know. The lore I created back then was kind of wacky.
Daddy, can we play now? I'm so bored.
Not now, my girl. Not now, my girl. Biscuits are repeating whatever he says. Sorry, I was talking to my daughter.
Gosh, 2 years they were standing here the whole time for these stupid eggs? When does they finally hatch?
Look, the eggs are moving.
Finally!
Boss, renegades are coming this way to eat the eggs. This is another case of me not looking up the spelling of Pokemon names, because that's pretty sure renegades. Like, sure, I don't know how to spell every single word, but it was easy to look up the Pokemon names. I literally had a game! I literally could just open the DS and check it there, but I didn't. Why on this time? So true, Zakros, this is very convenient. For them. Wait, who is Pidgeot 1? Okay. Like, we have Zakros, Pidgeot 1, and the rest are just Pidgeot. That's when you know they don't have any relevance. One of them should have been named Pidgeot. Throw one in the water! That's harsh. But Zakros, how do you know who's the water type? Okay, so they know that one of them is gonna be water type. Just do one and I try to hide the other egg. Imagine if the fire type went into the water. Ha! You three, try to slow the renegades down.
Dad, what about the last egg?
Chip, you're gonna save the last one. That's a lot of responsibility for a flightless bird.
Yes, really?
Yes, but no mistakes this time. This is important. What did you do in the past? Okay, this is Spore being scuffed. They are supposed to pick up the eggs, but they can't get past the nest, so I'll have to give it to them. And that's the one that goes into the water. And oh, there he goes. Uh-oh. Is he gonna swim? He's just gonna swim in the water. Well, he's gonna safely land on that island. Alright. The little details I added sometimes. No! Sorry about that. I'm just gonna ignore this guy. And go to my mission to flee with the egg. There she goes. She can't fly. Whee! And there's no fall damage. Why are you just... Yeah, okay. This tree is different from the rest. That's when you know it's an objective.
Don't worry, Egg. You're safe.
You're safe. It's hating. It's hatching. It's hating. Wow, even the game is self-aware. Oh, it's baby Tao. Already with the flames out.
Cinda!
Well, that's a big retcon. I don't have Pokemon saying their names anymore, because that's cringe. It's a Cyndaquil! How do you know? You're like 1-year-old or something. This child is better with Pokemon names than I was when I created this adventure.
Berry.
He can already speak.
What? I need to give you a berry? Why did Dad ask me to hide the egg? Okay, I better let him sleep until Daddy comes. Sleep, Cyndaquil, sleep. Outside walks a Mareep with...
Is that supposed to be a Dutch song translated to English, translated into having Pokemons instead of animals? How was that song again? Considering the bridges I took here, there's no wonder I didn't get to finish this song.
A Mareep with... Hey, don't be bored of me! Well, he's still asleep.
Yeah, that's what you wanted, Chip. Ah, right, I'm using a mod called Neutral Ending, created by Liscomato. The egg is safe, and a Cyndaquil hatched out of it. Time for part 2. Here we play as Tao. This time I decide to get rid of the flames on the back, which makes more sense. They only really use that during battle. Oh yeah, his name is not Tao yet. He used to be called Tao Flame, but then I got rid of the flame in the name. But yeah, this is 100% Tao. The Cyndaquil woke up in the night.
Hello? Wake up!
She's supposed to be asleep, but when you give creatures 0 health, they are actually dead, but a lot of people, including me, are using that to make them look like they're sleeping. Which was with eyes open sometimes.
Wake up! I want you to show me around here.
At least the typos make sense, because this kid is born a few hours ago.
Go away, Daddy.
The emojis in the sentences. Well, let's explore. What is this walking animation? What the heck is this walking animation? Well, nowadays, in my comic, Tao walks on all fours. That might have looked better or worse, I don't know. So let's explore. I can't stop staring at these weird legs. This place is called Dratini Mountain, I believe. Because it was supposed to be like snake-shaped, and maybe I thought that Dratini was the coolest snake Pokemon back then. I don't know. It sounded a bit legendary without it being an actual legendary, I guess. Oh. Intense music, so something bad's gonna happen. Hey, it's the Renegades! These models are not mine. You can tell because it's spelled correctly. Hey, look, a rookie. Let's get him, boys.
Leave me alone!
Hey, what about blowing the bridge? Oh, that's nice. Blow the bridge. I want to apologize to every rat lover out there. Rats are not evil. Well, at least he landed in water. Fire Pokemon plus water is... Tao from Draft 8 would like to have a talk with you. Of course, he wasn't a fan of water in this version of the story, so this was an issue. And this is all the Ethereal Dreams, draft number 2. I created. I believe I was creating a part 3 that never got finished, or I at least planned it, because I vividly remember how it went from the start. First of all, I wanna give proper credit to the person who made the Raticate model. They're created by Info. Nice, thank you so much. I believe this person made a lot of cool Pokemon models on Spore. So part 3, I remember it started with Tao being at the bottom here. Well, technically kinda here. I was gonna include a Lapras that was gonna save him and bring him to the small island, and that's where he meets another character. He was gonna meet Oakblaze. This, by the way, is I just put together right now, because I remember I was gonna have Oakblaze be the one carried into the ocean, and the Pidgeots were like, oh no, it's not the water type, and I don't know, I went further. I guess they were kind of stuck on this island, and yeah. And the third character, the third egg, is, as you may have guessed, a Totodile. Obviously, the 2 Johto starters and the third one is a water type, yeah. And that's supposed to be another character. And this is Kibi, who used to be a Totodile. Also, I want to talk about the horrible story writing for a moment. Why did the Pidgeots feel the need to take the eggs and run into all directions when 3 random Raticates decided to come up? And it's 3 Raticates, 3 against 5! If these eggs were special and need to be protected at all times, then wouldn't these Pidgeots know how to defend them in the first place? Why hide them? They have the higher ground. They can fly, the Raticates can't. They can push the Raticates off and they win. But why bring one to the island and hoping that... Why even separate the 3 eggs? Also, why is there a random stone bridge in the middle of nowhere? How did the Raticates destroy it? And once Tao got here, where are all the Pidgeots? Where's Zakros and the other 4? Why is everything... This is what my stories used to look like. This is why I decided to start scripting in Draft 7. And then make a polished version of that script in Draft 8. So, yeah. past this, it's kind of vague on what my plans really were. It was mostly just these three were hatching. They learned about the prophecy where they probably had to fight some kind of evil. And Chip was amongst the group of main characters. She was like a guide or protector. Like, she was not part of the prophecy, she just traveled with them. Together these four were a group of main characters who would travel around, save the world, that kind of stuff. They each evolved one, so Tao would be a Kulava, Dara would be a bay leaf, Kibi would be a crocodile, and Chip would be a Pidgeotto. And there's even traces in really old art. This is the second draft of Ethereal Dreams, and each of these characters still exist in draft number 8. Tao, Dara, Kibi, they've already made their debut. Kibi is turned into a Jangmo-O. When I created this Spore adventure, Jangmo-O did not exist yet. And the reason why I changed his species is because I didn't really want 3 Johto starters in one place. Felt odd, and I was mostly attached to Tao and Dara. They got to remain what they were, and Kibi was gonna change into something new. I went through different species and decided I really wanted him to be a Jangmo-O, so he became one. It's my favorite dragon, and he's really fun to draw, so I'm really glad I made that change. So, where is Chip in the story? That's a surprise. So does that mean there is a draft 8 version of Chip? Yeah? I'm not gonna share more about that. She will make an appearance one day. Whether she's still the same species or not, that's the question. You might be wondering, where is Moira in all this? Moira doesn't exist yet. Despite the fact that she's literally the main character of the story, she did not exist until draft number 5. Which means that she's as good as absent from this version of the story. And even then, she didn't become a Glameow until draft number 7. Before that she was an Eevee. Draft number 5 is also when the story officially became a Mystery Dungeon world. Because I played Explorers of Sky and played as my self-insert, who then got turned into the fictional character Moira, with Tao as my partner. Which cemented Team Cloudcatchers with the two of them, back then known as Team Flareheart. I might make more videos about the other drafts, but a lot of them are risky as of now. They contain bigger spoilers to the final product. Maybe someday in the future we will come back to this. In the meantime, I'm going to take a look into the Pokémon creations, because sometimes there's like funny information in the descriptions. This here is my first Cyndaquil creation, with some little bit of broken English in here. And here I created him as a Kulava. And I already was like, nah, I don't want to evolve him. And he never did, because I liked Kulava too much. Like, bro, Typhlosion, where did your mohawk go? It's the coolest thing about Kulava. And then they ditched it. Alright, so Chip, her actual name is a typo. And the species is a typo in here, but then I fixed it here. And Pidgey was the very first Pokemon that I captured. And that was really special to me. And I always liked Pidgey. I was obsessed with the Pidgeotto in the anime that Ash had. My first attempt on a Chikorita, I used a different mouth that doesn't look that good on her. Yeah, I had this weird obsession with naming my Pokemon starters after a combination of two words. I think specifically Oak Blaze came from someone on Spore who created a bunch of warrior cat. I back then didn't know what a warrior cat was. Oakheart was one of those warrior cats, and I remember really liking that name, and so Oakheart was kind of the inspiration for the name Oak Blaze. But yeah, nowadays this is Dara. And then there is Fearain, the Totodile, who went through several different names. I think I named him Rain Frost at some time, Brody, and then Kibi. Wait, first it was Kiba and then it was Kibi. Because there was also this time where I almost wanted to make him a Kibago and was lazy on naming. Wait, Kibago, that's Exu, that's Exu's Japanese name. Yeah, when Black and White just came out, I was memorizing the Japanese names. Better version of Cyndaquil, and yet the walking animation kind of backfired. Here's an evolved Oak Blaze, which looks a bit better than Chikorita. Chip as a Pidgeotto, Fearain as a Crocodile. Changed the name because Chip is not a boat. Here's the model of Zakros, who you can see that scar in one of his eyes. Like, I used the asymmetry trick on this. Zakros is Chip's father and he is the leader of the Pidgey pack. Of course I wouldn't know the word flock back then. He's brave and got a big scar in a battle. The Pokemon think it was a rare Pokemon who did this. Of course it was. Together they protected the eggs of Oak Blaze, Talflame and Fearain. And the Dragontail Valley. Oh! My bad, it's called Dragontail Valley. Huh. Well, it wasn't far off. Wait, how is this a valley? Wait, does that mean Dragontail is an attacking move? But I believe it came out in Generation 5. And I made this when Generation 4 was the current one. So, in other words, did I predict Dragontail? Which is also funny, because Kibi's most iconic attack is Dragontail. This is so full circle. Baby Chip. She can't fly until she learns it. Yeah, and eventually I caved and decided to evolve Oak Blaze into a Meganium. And Fearain was evolved. So, Kisento lore, Tau is about the only Cyndaquil on the entire island. Well, I fixed it. There are 53 Cyndaquils now, and I was trading them to people. This was back when you could still go online with the DS. And here's where my Kulava model improved in Spore. And this one is a lot more iconic to me as well. And here's where I tried to turn Talflame into a Deviant ROC. I have given him flame legs, some markings behind the eyes, and a necklace with a sharp Everstone. Because he had like a power where he could take off the necklace and then evolve into a Typhlosion temporarily and turn back as if he were some Digimon. And what's funny is I also kind of predicted Hisuian Typhlosion, who has these wave markings behind the eye. I did that first, Nintendo! And here's a small improvement on Oak Blaze. I remember back then no one really knew how to create a Chikorita on Spore. Duifje. So of course the Cyndaquil model has been updated with the fire markings. And here he is a Typhlosion. Yeah, that's where I explained that he can temporarily turn into a Typhlosion if he wants to have a power up in battle. And change back into a Kulava. Because I liked Kulava too much, I wasn't gonna have a Typhlosion for an OC. Also, that's yet another prediction. In Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, you have like the player and partner temporarily evolving to their last form. and then turning back into the first form. Like, y'all, Game Freak is stealing my ideas. Even though I stole it from Digimon. I guess this is an early version of Lights who, I used the Togepi in Soul Silver for a bit, but then I kinda ditched them because I had the Pidgey in the party. Because I did not want to end up with two normal flying types. And here's Holy as a Togetic, which looks better than Togepi. Togepi has always been difficult to either draw or make as a 3D model. I also use Spore a lot for live blogging, and this was based on my encounter with Lugia. And was really special to me because other than the roaming beasts, this was one of my earliest legendary encounters. It was also special because it was the box legendary. I'm wondering, is this why Tao has megalophobia in the final draft? Here I created my Sona from back then with Tao. I did these requests where I would create someone's dragon Sona with their favorite Pokémon, which was kind of cute. We used to be a huge community back then. Yeah, making buildings wasn't really easy, and I think I could do better now, but yeah, for what it was nice. A Minun dragon with an Absol. Unfortunately, I lost a few buildings and vehicles because I did a bad attempt at making a backup of them. So some of them are lost media. Oh, Puiru. This user, this artist, they have their own comic too now. And this Charizard made an appearance in it. Oh, look at that. It's a group's picture of the 3 starters in their Metal Evolution. The thing with the shiny crocodile is because upon the day I captured a shiny Golbat at Mount Silver, and that has given me the motivation to shiny hunt a Johto starter. And the one I got was Totodile, and so I didn't know whether I should turn this Totodile into a new character or have Fearain become the shiny Totodile. Like, he was both non-shiny, then shiny, non-shiny. It was inconsistent. A big mistake I made when getting that shiny Crocodile was not give it a nickname and then trade it to my Soul Silver. And so, upon deleting that save where he came from, he remained a nameless Relegator. Up until the recent games where you can give a nickname to a Pokémon if they do not yet have a nickname. And so I have given him the name Rainfrost, which was one of Kiwi's previous names, and I think it's fitting for a shiny Relegator that knows Ice Fang. I made it a Terra Ice type, so I'm happy he finally was given a name. This is something I don't remember creating. A Kulava swimming, with a description saying, a Kulava can swim but he will not stay alive. What? That's kind of morbid. This was created in 2010 and I have no memory of this. This was before I decided to make Tao a swimmer. I guess Tao was always destined to be a swimmer. This feels like some kind of prediction or something. I don't know. I really don't remember making this. It's still kind of funny. Why did I decide to keep the flames on if he's gonna go into the water? Like, where are the ears? Why did I prioritize the flames over the ears? In Spore there's also a function to take screenshots. So other than ancient adventures, I also have some ancient screenshots from all the way back. If I have to guess, I think I made this screenshot before I made the adventure, because it was made on 15 April 2010. Well, the adventure came out in 23 April 2010. And it's two images of the group of main characters from two different angles, where they are using their attacks. Because in Galactic Adventures you could give your creature like weapons, but we always pretended that they were the elements of the dragons, and therefore when creating these Pokemon characters I pretended that the rocket was like a flamethrower for a Glava, and that the green colored blast attack was maybe Energy Ball for Bayleaf. For some reason I can't find these models anymore. I made a lot of backups, but specifically I can't find Chip's model back. The one with the attack that I pretended was like a wind attack, but actually it's bees and Spore. We did a lot of pretend back then. Ah yeah, this is something I overlooked. The Galactic Adventure power-ups for my Pokemon characters. So this would be a flamethrower, this would be extra sensory, and this would be toxic. And for some reason the sounds aren't showing up. This game is so glitchy. And apparently I used just poison for Oak Blaze and Razor Leaf. And Firain used some kind of water attack, not specifying which one, and ice. But Croconos can learn Ice Fang in Hard Gold Soul Silver, so it's fitting. It's kind of iconic to them. But yeah, no Chip. But yeah, I can't find the Chip model. I just put this one together for now, for this video. I lost it. It's gone. That one is lost forever too. But they're really easy to make, so I just put them together like this. This is how we did the combat in these Galactic Adventures. I never reached the point where I could use the four of them in combat, but this is a bit of an idea what it might have looked like if I got this far. But yeah, my Dragon Stories had the priority. And then there is this vehicle in the background. I don't think it's mine. I don't know who made it, and I don't know which adventure this was. This could have been some random Galactic Adventure that I played, but I don't know who made this. Yeah, so unfortunately I don't know who to credit for this. Then there's this screenshot, which is the placeholder thumbnail for the Pokémon adventure. And I'm saying placeholder because usually when I make a screenshot I make sure it doesn't show the what you call that? The star underneath the main character, which is only a thing you can see in the when you're in the middle of editing, and doesn't show up when you are playing the adventure. And I always make sure to not show them in the thumbnails because it looks a bit unprofessional. Not that my adventures were professional, so I never really bothered to make a proper thumbnail, because for part 1 and part 2 I used the identical same screenshot. As well, there's only one Pidgeot. I think that's Sakros. And he even shows up to be the playable character, because the playable character has a star, while the NPCs have a square underneath them. Maybe he was planned to be the main character, or I just needed him for the thumbnail. Yeah, I think it's just placeholder, me quickly making a screenshot, just so I can tell this project apart from other projects, and yeah, I didn't bother making it look good or anything. Then there's also this thumbnail where it's Chip holding the egg and jumping down, which might have been another planned thumbnail. There's more. Upon rediscovering older screenshots, I discovered even more stuff. And this comes closer to draft number 7 than draft number 2, but it's still within Spore, and this is from 2017, which is still kind of a long time ago. I think it's interesting to bring this up as well. Here's a screenshot of Moira stuck in a tree above what is supposed to be the whirlpool from Perishing River. It's doesn't look anything like Perishing River. Just try making a whirlpool look good in Spore. And in the original script, not alone, Moira was still an Eevee in here, but instead of being saved from the river itself, she got stuck in a tree. And Tao was climbing in the tree in order to get her out, which was in the script back then. And there's also this screenshot with Moira falling down from a great height. And I remember trying to create Perishing River in Spore, but I wasn't really happy about it. If anything, it looked better in Minecraft than in Spore. Also, this Eevee model, I don't think I made this. And unfortunately, the things I made in 2017, I can't find them back. I make backups of so many things, but for some reason I have trouble finding anything from 2017 back. So it's likely lost forever. It was made on the previous computer, which I still shared with my father, and that computer has passed away, so I can't even get back to it. Which is a shame. I would have loved to go back and check this one out, but too bad. Editing Goatly here. I have found the Eevee. They are made by random creatures. Thank you so much. Even though I only used it for a few screenshots, it's still a borrowed model, so I still want the credit. I found even more screenshots based on draft 7 of Ethereal Dreams that I made for fun. But this is yet again something that gets into spoiler territory, so it's something that I might have to cover in a draft number 7 video once it's safe enough to be shared. But one thing that I find interesting is that Moira is slowly transitioning from an Eevee to a Glameow. Last but not least, here's an interesting behind the scenes when I was trying to fix the missing egg model in the adventure. Where are the eggs? Where? Yeah, okay, they don't have to be this massive. What happened? Why can't I shrink them? Help? Man, I wish to keep this as vanilla as possible, but I guess I need to do a little bit of editing to make this playable. Come on, don't be stubborn. Can I... Wait, what does this look like? I killed my father. My father's dead. And the culprit is the egg. When you're not born yet and you already killed someone. Come on! Why won't you? Stupid egg. Okay, that's 2 out of 3. Bruh, come on, you're the last one. Okay, that one is still massive. Wait, how small are they? I might have made them too small. Hold on. They should at least be equal in size. Okay, is this... I guess this is alright. Yeah, this seems fine. That was a nightmare. But I think I made an excellent job into making this playable. I'll just use the exit.